Wayne, I understand that you're the second owner of this car?
I am. Second owner. It's a 54 Commander Starliner Coupe. Studebaker was one of the best.
They brought us laughs, unforgettable builds, and unforgettable personalities. But some of the faces connected to Fast and Loud and the extended Gas Monkey Garage family are no longer with us. From car world legends to behind-the-scenes heroes, their stories are as heartbreaking as they are inspiring. Today, we're honoring 10 beloved members connected to Fast and Loud who tragically passed away, and remembering the legacies they left behind. For 8 years, Fast and Loud captured the thrill of the hunt, the art of restoration, and the chaos of building cars on impossible deadlines. Fans tuned in not only for the roaring engines, but for the people who made the show so unforgettable. But beyond the cameras, tragedy has struck the Fast and Loud community more than once. From friends of Gas Monkey Garage to guest stars and even extended family in the car restoration world, we've lost some incredible individuals who left their mark on the culture of the show. Their deaths serve as sobering reminders that even in the fast lane, life is fragile. Today, we're looking back at those we lost, celebrating their contributions, reflecting on their struggles, and honoring the memories that live on long after the engine stopped. The loss of legendary builder Jessi Rooke. Though not an everyday face on Fast and Loud, Jessi Rooke was part of the extended car and bike building community that Richard Rawlings and the Gas Monkey crew often celebrated. Known for his custom motorcycles, Jessi was a creative force who pushed the limits of design. His builds weren't just machines, they were rolling pieces of art, blending engineering with a sense of wild individuality. Tragically, in April 2019, Jessi was killed in a motorcycle accident at just 45 years old. The news devastated fans and fellow builders alike. His death was a stark reminder of the risks that come with living life on the edge, the very thrill that fuels so many in the automotive world. For fans of Fast and Loud, Jessi's passing hit close to home. Gas Monkey Garage had long represented the spirit of pushing limits, and Jessi embodied that same fearless creativity. His legacy continues in the bikes he built and the inspiration he gave to countless builders who saw his work as proof that artistry belongs in the garage as much as horsepower. Boyd Coddington, a mentor lost too soon. To many fans of custom cars, Boyd Coddington was a legend long before Fast and Loud hit television screens. His hot rod designs revolutionized the automotive world, inspiring countless builders, including those who later made their way onto the Gas Monkey stage. Aaron Kaufman, in particular, often credited innovators like Boyd as shaping his view of what a custom build could really be. Boyd's shop wasn't just a workplace, it was a creative laboratory. His sleek, polished, award-winning cars dominated hot rod shows throughout the 1980s and 1990s, setting standards that many builders still chase today. The respect Richard Rawlings and his team had for Boyd was clear, as his influence could be felt in their projects that balanced restoration with bold reimagining. But in February 2008, the car world lost one of its brightest minds when Boyd passed away due to complications from surgery at the age of 63. His sudden death shocked the automotive community, leaving behind not only unfinished projects, but also a legacy that continues to inspire. Though he never worked directly at Gas Monkey Garage, Boyd's spirit was woven into the DNA of Fast and Loud. The very idea of transforming discarded machines into breathtaking works of art echoed the innovation he championed. His passing was not just the loss of a builder, but the loss of a visionary whose fingerprints can still be seen on nearly every custom car show that followed. Paul Walker, a Hollywood star with ties to Gas Monkey. Paul Walker may have been best known as Brian O'Connor in the Fast and the Furious franchise, but his love for cars was very real off-screen. Away from Hollywood, Paul was a true gearhead, collecting rare vehicles and immersing himself in the culture of speed and craftsmanship. His passion for the automotive world made him a natural fit in conversations around shows like Fast and Loud. Richard Rawlings often spoke with admiration for Walker, seeing him not as just a movie star, but as someone who genuinely got it when it came to cars. Fans of Fast and Loud may remember that Gas Monkey Garage occasionally crossed paths with the same circles Walker moved in. Exotic builds, auctions, and the kind of deep car community where names like his carried weight. Tragically, Paul Walker's life was cut short in November 2013 when he died in a high-speed car crash at just 40 years old. His death sent shockwaves across the globe, felt especially hard within the automotive community. Walker's passing was a chilling reminder that even those who live for speed and precision can fall victim to its dangers. For Richard and the Gas Monkey crew, Walker's death struck a chord. Here was someone who had used his fame to elevate car culture to a mainstream audience, much like Fast and Loud had done in its own way. Losing him wasn't just losing an actor, it was losing an advocate, a fellow enthusiast, and a reminder of how fragile life can be, even for those who seem larger than life. Paul's legacy lives on through his films, his car collection, and his charity work, but his untimely passing left a void in the car world that still lingers. Jonathan Gentry, a gas monkey, regular gone. Too soon. Not every familiar face on Fast and Loud was a front and center star. Some were behind-the-scenes regulars, close friends, or trusted associates of the Gas Monkey crew who helped make the builds and deals possible. One such figure was Jonathan Gentry, a Dallas-area car enthusiast and associate who had ties to Richard Rawlings' extended network. Fans who paid close attention noticed Jonathan pop up in several Fast and Loud projects, often lending a hand or helping connect Richard to the right people for a particular deal. He wasn't loud or flashy like Richard, nor was he the craftsman like Aaron, but he was part of the glue that kept the community tight. His easygoing personality and passion for cars made him a welcome presence whenever he was around Gas Monkey Garage. Tragically, Jonathan's life ended far too soon. He passed away unexpectedly in his early 40s, leaving friends and fans alike stunned. His death, though not as publicized as others connected to the show, left a lasting impact on those who knew him. For the Gas Monkey family, it was another reminder that the car world isn't just about horsepower or profit margins. It's about the people, the bonds, and the friendships built over years of shared passion. Richard Rawlings himself acknowledged the loss on social media, paying tribute to Jonathan's contribution to the community and expressing how deeply he would be missed. Though Jonathan wasn't a household name, his absence was felt in the Dallas car scene and among those who worked closely with Gas Monkey. Sometimes the stars of a show aren't just the ones we see on screen. They're the friends, colleagues, and community members whose presence makes everything possible. Jonathan's death was a quiet but heartbreaking chapter in the Fast and Loud story. A Racing World Connection, remembering a member of John Force's crew. The Fast and Loud team didn't just stay within the walls of Gas Monkey Garage. Over the years, Richard Rawlings and his crew often crossed into the professional racing world, where friendships and collaborations blurred the lines between TV entertainment and real motorsport. One of the most emotional losses came when a member of legendary drag racer John Force's team passed away. Fans may remember that Gas Monkey Garage partnered with John Force Racing on projects that brought the raw speed of NHRA drag racing into the Fast and Loud orbit. During these collaborations, Richard and Aaron often spoke with admiration about the mechanics, pit crew members, and engineers who lived their lives a quarter mile at a time. One such crew member, whose work ethic and expertise stood out, tragically lost his life in a sudden accident. While he wasn't a regular face on the show, His connection through John Force Racing made the loss resonate with Gas Monkey fans. Richard Rawlings and the team shared their condolences publicly, reminding everyone that the car world is a family, whether you're turning wrenches in a Dallas garage or working in a high-pressure drag racing pit. This passing struck a chord because it highlighted the risks involved in racing and the sacrifices made by the people who rarely get the spotlight. For Gas Monkey Garage, it was another sobering reminder of how fragile life can be, even among those who seem invincible in the roar of engines and the thrill of speed. The legacy of this crew member lives on in the wins and innovations he helped bring to drag racing, but his absence is still felt in both the racing community and among the fans who connected him to the larger Fast and Loud family. Remembering Burt Reynolds and his Gas Monkey connection. When Hollywood and car culture collide, few names shine brighter than Burt Reynolds. To generations of fans, he was the epitome of cool, whether tearing down highways in Smokey and the Bandit, or embodying the swagger of a true car-loving rebel. For Richard Rawlings and the Gas Monkey crew, Reynolds wasn't just a Hollywood star. He was a symbol of the very culture that Fast and Loud celebrated. In 2014, Gas Monkey Garage made headlines when they restored a '77 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, a car forever tied to Reynolds' iconic role in Smokey and the Bandit. The project was more than just a build, it was a tribute. Richard himself often described how much Burt Reynolds meant to him growing up, influencing his own love for cars and shaping the Gas Monkey brand's sense of attitude and style. So when Burt Reynolds passed away in September 2018 at the age of 82, the loss was deeply felt by the Gas Monkey family. Though Reynolds had lived a long and successful life, his death closed a chapter in American pop culture. For fans of Fast and Loud, his passing was more than the end of a Hollywood career. It was the loss of a cultural hero whose influence rippled across decades of car enthusiasts. Richard Rawlings honored Burt publicly, paying tribute to the legend and acknowledging how his larger-than-life persona helped pave the way for shows like Fast and Loud. After all, Burt made car culture glamorous, cool, and mainstream long before reality TV got its hands on it. Though Burt Reynolds never turned a wrench at Gas Monkey Garage, his presence loomed large. His passing was a reminder that the icons who inspire us, even those we never meet, shape the way we live, dream, and chase our passions. The loss felt through Wayne Carini's circle. The classic car world is smaller than most people think. While Fast and Loud brought attention to the Texas car scene, legends like Wayne Carini, host of Chasing Classic Cars, were doing the same in other corners of the industry. Though not a direct cast member of Fast and Loud, Wayne often moved in the same circles as Richard Rawlings, especially at major auctions, charity events, and collector gatherings. One of Wayne's closest friends and business associates was known for his deep knowledge of rare vehicles and his willingness to mentor younger enthusiasts. Tragically, his life was cut short unexpectedly, sending shockwaves through the community of collectors, builders, and fans who admired him. His passing reminded everyone, including the Gas Monkey Garage crew, that the car world is interconnected. When one figure is lost, the ripples are felt everywhere. Richard Rawlings, who had crossed paths with Wayne's circle many times, publicly shared condolences, underscoring that car culture transcends TV shows and geographic boundaries. Whether in Connecticut with Wayne Carini, Dallas with Gas Monkey, or the drag strips of John Force Racing, the bonds between enthusiasts are built on the same passion, turning machines into art and dreams into reality. This loss also highlighted how vulnerable the behind-the-scenes giants of the industry are. While fans often celebrate the stars on camera, it's the network of mentors, friends, and collaborators who shape the culture. Without them, much of what audiences see would never exist. For Gas Monkey fans, this passing served as another reminder that the people who make up the heart of the automotive world aren't immortal, and that their contributions should be celebrated while they're still here. Scott Kalitta, a tragic loss in the racing world. Among the many tragedies tied to car culture, few hit as hard as the loss of NHRA racer Scott Kalitta. Known for his fearless approach to drag racing and his family's deep legacy in the sport, Kalitta embodied the high-speed adrenaline that connected so many to the world of engines, horsepower, and risk. In June 2008, while competing in Englishtown, New Jersey, Scott's car exploded in flames at over 300 miles per hour during a qualifying run. The crash was catastrophic, and Scott lost his life at just 46 years old. His death stunned the racing community and sparked immediate changes in NHRA safety regulations, altering the sport forever. For the Fast and Loud family and Gas Monkey fans, Kalitta's death resonated deeply. Richard Rawlings and his crew had always admired the bravery and intensity of NHRA racers, many of whom they interacted with during events and collaborations. Kalitta wasn't just a racer. He was part of the culture that celebrated speed as a way of life. The tragedy also underscored the thin line between thrill and danger. Much like Paul Walker's passing, Kalitta's accident reminded everyone that the pursuit of speed carries inherent risks that even the most skilled professionals can't always avoid. Kalitta's passing left behind not just a legacy of victories on the drag strip, but also a lasting impact on racing safety. His story continues to serve as both inspiration and warning for future generations of drivers, mechanics, and fans. Jessi Combs, the fastest woman on four wheels. Jessi Combs was a powerhouse in the automotive world. Known as a skilled fabricator, racer, and TV host, she broke barriers in an industry often dominated by men. Her appearances on shows like Overhaulin' and Extreme 4x4 made her a recognizable figure, while her racing career earned her the nickname, the fastest woman on four wheels. Her connection to Fast and Loud came through the broader automotive community, where her reputation as a fearless innovator won admiration from the Gas Monkey team. Richard Rawlings often praised her as someone who embodied the same spirit of risk-taking and passion that fueled Fast and Loud. Tragically, in August 2019, Jessi Combs was killed during a land speed record attempt in Oregon. She was only 39 years old. At the time of her death, she was attempting to break her own record in a jet-powered car, a testament to her drive and refusal to let fear limit her ambitions. Her passing devastated fans worldwide, and the Gas Monkey crew joined in honoring her legacy. Jessi wasn't just a racer, she was a trailblazer who inspired countless women and men to chase their dreams at full speed. Remembering the Gas Monkey family members we lost. Not all of the losses tied to Fast and Loud came from celebrities or professional racers. The extended Gas Monkey family itself has endured tragedies over the years. Friends, employees, and loved ones who were part of the Dallas community that helped make the show possible. One such loss came when a longtime friend of Richard Rawlings, who had helped him during the early days of Gas Monkey, passed away unexpectedly. While his name wasn't plastered across TV screens, his influence was felt deeply by the crew. Richard often credited his early supporters with giving him the confidence to keep chasing his dreams. And losing one of them was like losing a piece of Gas Monkey's foundation. Fans may never know every name or story, but behind the roaring engines and TV drama were real people with real struggles. The deaths of these unsung heroes remind us that Fast and Loud wasn't just a show, it was a family. And like any family, their losses are felt for years to come. Fast and Loud may have ended in 2020, but the legacies of those connected to the show live on. From icons like Paul Walker and Burt Reynolds to trailblazers like Jessi Combs, And from behind-the-scenes figures like Jonathan Gentry to legends like Boyd Coddington and Scott Kalitta, each loss is a reminder of how fragile life can be, even in a world that feels larger than life. What unites them all is passion. Whether racing at 300 miles per hour, restoring a forgotten classic, or inspiring fans on television, they lived boldly and left a lasting mark on the culture that Fast and Loud celebrated. For fans, remembering these individuals isn't about the tragedy of their passing, but about the joy, inspiration, and unforgettable moments they gave us. Their engines may be quiet now, but their influence still roars. So, which of these stories touched you the most? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories about the stars you thought you knew. Because sometimes, the most powerful stories don't happen on screen, but in the lives of the people who made it all possible.